I got my Peter McKinnon coffee. I don't know how he does it. He's a huge inspiration of mine. What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Ramos. I am the executive producer of Wolfcry Productions, and this video is going to be a little bit different. Normally, I'm showing you guys techniques or some products that I got and that kind of stuff, but today I just want to share a different type of knowledge, and that is what it's like running your own company. I've been doing this for a little over a year and a half now. When I was in college and I made a decision to start my own video production company or photography company, if you want to look at it that way as well, I just kind of wish that there was somebody that I could talk to who had this experience. Luckily, I ended up finding somebody, but some of you guys may not have the luxury that I did in finding someone who does own their own company as well and was able to help me out along the way. I'm going to first just tell you guys a little bit about what I wish I knew, and then I'm going to go into what I learned. And I'm going to try to rapid fire these out, but I also am going to explain a little bit in depth, because that's another thing I wish I had was, like, yeah, you can Google things and get your answers and stuff like that, but you don't always find it that way, and you kind of want to know why it is the way that it is. So I'm going to do the best that I can. You guys may have heard me say this in a couple videos before. One of the things that I wish that I knew before starting my own company was my style. I'm still developing my style and trying to master it and perfect it. I definitely have gotten a whole lot better at the style that I am trying to reach, but I still have a lot to learn with it. And I've been practicing a lot. I've been taking out my friends a lot, taking pictures of them, just so I can practice this a little bit more. But it's a very, very crucial thing. So if this way, when somebody hires me, they know what to expect, and I know what to expect, basically. But if I'm changing up my style every single photo shoot, no one's going to really know what to expect when they get their photos back from you. So make sure you know your style, know what you want to do, and the key skills that you're great at. And while speaking about styles, unless the client and you specifically sit down and talk about it, don't be changing your style up. Client work is not a place for you to experiment. Again, unless if it's clarified. So if they're hiring you based off the work that you have on your website or your Instagram or wherever you're posting your work, that's what they expect. Don't try to do something new. I mean, to an extent, obviously there's some things where it's like, oh, well, maybe this will work. For example, Adobe last year came out with the sky replacement tool for Photoshop. So like, obviously that would be a time to maybe try something new if you absolutely need it. That's one thing. But as far as like your style, don't change it up, because odds are they hired you for your specific style. To kind of go off of that was just like promote what you actually know and know what to do well. Don't promote one of your ideas. A good example of this was I was promoting an idea where you get every single photo that I took of you. Basically all 1,200 photos. That way you don't have to sit there and pick which ones you want me to edit. I don't have to decide which ones I edit. I just edit all of them. Yeah, when I was editing 1 gig for like 6 weeks, I decided that probably wasn't a good idea to advertise. So I stopped doing that. Another thing I wish I was taught or knew before I started my own company, you better be taking your videography and your photography courses seriously in college, high school, wherever you are, trade schools, because those are your portfolio pieces. If you were like me and you went in and you were just goofing around doing BS work just because it was funny, you wrote stupid skits, that kind of stuff, what are you gonna do? I had good work coming out of college because I kind of switched that, but I went to a trade school for 2 years and I didn't show any of my work from that trade school because I didn't produce legitimate work. I was kind of just slacking off and I tried to make everything funny. Don't do that. Take it seriously, because that's what's going to possibly get you a job. But if you are trying to start your own company, that's what you're going to use to show your clients what you can do. And another thing is just the legal work. All the legal stuff that goes into starting your own company is a lot. I didn't have anybody for this part. I literally was Googling, trying to figure everything out. There's a lot of different places where you can get your DBA online and all those other crap. I didn't trust those sites at all. I saw that you go down to your clerk office, I think it is. You tell them you want to get a DBA. I think altogether I spent like $45, $50, that's including parking, to get my DBA. And that same day I went straight to the bank and I opened up a bank account under my business name. It took me a max 2 to 3 hours, and I was running my own company at that point on. And if there's a piece of advice that you want to take early on, it's just do it. Just go get your DBA, stop slacking, go and get it done. Once you get that paperwork stuff out of the way and ready to go, it's going to make everything so much easier. I know it was a burden on me because I just had it hanging over my head the entire time. I was like, yeah, I'm going to start my own company and all this, but I didn't have anything yet. But once I got my DBA, that's when I actually felt like a shift in actually working towards my company, because now it's official. So yeah, so go and do that. Get that all up and going. And also, if you are in college and you are thinking about doing this kind of thing, take an accounting or personal finance class, something that will teach you money. I was lucky enough to actually take one online course. This was around when COVID was at its peak, and it was about personal financing, and that helped me out tremendously, because when you start out on your own, you're doing all the financing yourself. So it's a lot, and it's a lot of knowledge. You can use QuickBooks and stuff like that, which I do use, so I'll be talking about QuickBooks a lot in this video, but you still need some knowledge, so that way you know the vocabulary when it comes to finances and stuff like that. And another thing that I just thought about is there are a lot of grants out there for people who are just starting up their company. I am Hispanic. I knew that there was a lot of minority, business owner grants and stuff like that. I couldn't find any of them. I knew that they were out there. The websites that are there for you to find grants are super, super confusing and difficult to use. I'm just going to give you guys this word of advice right now. If you can figure out how to do those things, do it 100%. There's so much free money out there, and you need to take advantage of it. If you are a college student, look for scholarships, grants, competitions, things like that. It's going to help you out in the long run for sure, especially if you're trying to buy some new equipment. I wasn't fortunate enough to have that, and that's why I want to make sure you guys are. So now I'm going to go into the things that I learned. The first thing is that connections are everything. Some of my most loyal clients, I guess you can say, have come from people that I've worked with in the past. They are friends of my family members, stuff like that. Connections are everything. Do not cut ties. Do not burn bridges with anybody that you work with. Even if you hated working with them, don't burn that bridge, because you never know what opportunities they might bring to the table for you. And then also make more photography friends. If you're into photography, make more videography, video production friends, whatever you want to call them, because the more friends that you have that are in the same trade or in the same business as you, the more fun it's going to be. But also you learn from them, and you can have fun. You guys go out, you just take photos, and you do all these things. Everybody has a different style, even though you're all taking pictures of the same things. It's a really cool experience. Don't see them as competition. Do not see other photographers or videographers as competition. See them as somebody who's trying to achieve the same goal you are, and they could potentially help you. If they are being jerks and they see you as competition and don't want to help you at all, don't worry about it. Move on. There are other people that are willing to help you out and want to give you a chance, especially if you are young and just starting out. So I highly recommend it. Another one is keep track of all of your expenses. How do I put this? I got a filing cabinet, and I was supposed to put all my receipts in that filing cabinet. With how unorganized that I am, I managed to lose receipts so quickly. I just had the receipt, I would put it in my pocket, whatever, lost it, whatever. So there was at least $80, maybe a little bit more in deductions that I couldn't write off because I didn't have proof of it. And then I know there's a lot of loopholes and all this other stuff, but I like to do everything by the books. If I don't have proof of that payment and that it was a business expense, then I don't really write it off, just in case. I like to play things safe. Now what I do is, as soon as I get that receipt, I'm literally with the cashier, and I'm taking a picture of the receipt, so that way I can upload it to QuickBooks. If you buy clothes that you use when you go shooting, that's a write-off. Gas, meals, a lot of different things can be write-off. So do your research on what are deductions and everything like that, because people were telling me, oh yeah, you can do this as a write-off, can't you? And I was like, I don't know, can you? Because nobody told me. So Yeah, so keep track of all your expenses. You never know what's going to be write off and what's not. And it's super helpful, and QuickBooks does make it easier. So QuickBooks isn't sponsored. This is how much I'm willing to help you guys. I'll talk about products all day long that truly benefit me because I want them to benefit you as well. And if I can end up getting a sponsor, even though I only get like 60 views, that would be amazing. So this is the part where I'm going to talk about the more that you earn, the more that you end up spending. There's a relation. Obviously, the more money that you're making, the harder that you're working. The harder that you're working, the more that you realize what you need to do to get your job done so that you can start making more money. And there's so many tools and softwares, plugins, all this other stuff that make your life easier. And that's what you start buying. Use what you have to make some money, and then that's when you can start doing the big buck stuff. Don't just go in expecting to make a lot of money right off the bat. That's not going to happen. So I was rocking my Canon 80D for the longest time, my kit lenses and everything, because I didn't have a lot of money. And then when I started making more money, I started buying more expensive lenses and more expensive bodies and stuff like that. One thing to expect: everybody has their monthly bills. If you're a videographer or photographer, you pay probably triple what most people would pay monthly. I'm going to put all my subscriptions here and how much I pay for them. And I know my Adobe one is going to be changing because my student discount is going to be going away soon. So there are so many subscriptions that you should have, and it kind of sucks because they are huge expenses, but one, they're expenses, they're write-offs, but also you need them. They're kind of a necessity. Yeah, subscriptions suck, but you need them. If you can do them yearly, that's great. I know for me personally, I need to get a credit card, and I need to put some of my subscriptions on my credit card so I can build my credit a little bit more. So some of them I'm going to keep monthly just to show credit usage and stuff like that. But there are some that are so much cheaper to do it yearly, such as Soundstripe. I'm using that one yearly just because it was significantly cheaper for me at that time. So yeah, there's so many subscriptions. You're going to be bombarded with them. Just try your best to keep track of them and know where they are. Because when I started out, I had some on my debit card, PayPal, Venmo. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to put everything on the same form of payment. So that way it's all consistent and it is where it is. I'm sure you guys have probably seen it if you're on Facebook and stuff like that, where there's a guy holding up a sign. He says, "Stop filming for exposure." No, those guys have been successful and know how to make money, and it's easy for them to make money because they have the skills and the talent to make money, and they're just trying to make some more money off of you. Don't fall into it. I'm telling you right now that no matter who, like, you can be talking to Peter McKinnon, and even he says that he's done gigs for free when he was just starting out. It's super easy for somebody successful to say you don't need to do gigs for free because they probably forgot what it was like, or maybe they were just fortunate enough where they never had to do gigs for free. If you are an average person just like I was, well, I still am, it's okay to do things for super cheap or free. It kind of does benefit you, especially if you know that you have the skills, but clients like to see your previous works. If you don't have anything on your resume, you better be doing some things for free. It's super easy to get burnt out, and it is very important for you to find something that refreshes you. For me, it's making vlogs with my girlfriend and my friends and stuff like that, or these YouTube videos, because it's a lot less stressful filming them and editing them, and we're having fun the entire time. I am so focused and my brain is rocking. My brain is nonstop when I'm filming, editing, whatever for clients, because they're paying me for my time, and I need to be 1,000% focused and really giving it my all. Whereas like those YouTube videos, I don't have to focus as much, and it's a lot easier and more fun and relaxing, and it kind of goes back to the roots of why I love doing what I do. When you think of business owners, you think of them living the big life, you know, and all this other stuff. It's nothing like that. I am still working 12 to 16 hour days, 5-6 days a week. I try to give myself at least one day off, but there are times where that's not possible. That's what I mean by it's so easy to get burned out. You're just working so much. It's a full-time job. You cannot expect to start a company and not have to work 40 or more hours a week just because it's your own company. Like, that's not how it is. Hopefully maybe like in the future, if you have employees and you're kind of just like watching over your company, that's one thing. But other than that, it's a lot of work. Even when you're not working on client work, you're working on your own stuff. You are, tracking your expenses. You are communicating with clients all the time. There are always emails that I need to be responding to. I got to respond to that one email. There's always things that you can be doing. I suck at this part, and that's posting on social media. I suck at that. So yeah, literally I'll be editing for 12 hours, 12, 16 hours, whatever it is. But then I'm also for another as many hours as I can, which is not a lot. Maybe it's like 20 minutes. I'm trying to post on social media, something that I just recently did. A lot of places like Facebook and YouTube make it easier because you can schedule stuff. So right now I have some downtime. I don't know how long the downtime is going to last, so I'm going to try to film as much as I can and edit as much as I can and then schedule these videos. Don't expect there to be playtime. Expect there to be a lot of work because you are still working. Oh, this is a huge one. This one is super important. I remember being so stressed out about my pricing. I still am. Every time I send an estimate, I don't know what, I feel like I'm either overcharging, undercharging. And I feel like when I send out my price, the client's gonna be like, well, why is it this much? Like, blah, blah, blah. They don't. I haven't had a client yet question why my pricing was the way that it was. And usually those are just because these people, they understand. They are also marketing, they're the business owners, whatever. They all get it. You do want your pricing to be fair though. So this year my prices are going up a little bit, not dramatically, but just a little bit because now my time is actually more important. I'm just gonna throw out numbers. These aren't my numbers. I'm just throwing out numbers. If you just came out of college and you're charging $45 an hour for photography skills and stuff like that, unless you are Peter McKinnon's son, I would not charge that much. That's completely unreasonable. You got to think about how much you would actually be worth. And it might not be a lot at first. It totally wasn't a lot for me. Like I said, I was doing gigs for $50, $75. And it's insane that now I can charge a little bit more. When people pay like those high-end photographers, they're paying for the experience that they know, the skills that they have, just how important their time is, because a lot of people want to use this like in one person. So make sure you're charging a fair price, that you aren't overcharging, undercharging, but also be confident in your price. If somebody says, look, I'm looking to do like a 12-hour shoot, like you better take into consideration your travel fees, meals, equipment usage. And when we say equipment usage, it's not like, it's stupid that people try to charge you for like rental fees. I never understood that. Basically, the equipment usage is just because when you put wear and tear on a product, it's more likely to end up breaking in the near future. I never actually put down equipment fee, but like $50 of whatever I make out of that client gets put into a different account. So then that way, if my camera breaks or lens breaks, I have money backed up so I can go buy that equipment, that kind of thing. Don't feel like clients are going to second guess you. If they do second guess you, most likely they're family or friends. And then in that case, my pricing is never consistent when it comes to my family or friends, just because, sometimes it's more, sometimes I just say, just buy me Taco Bell, like that kind of thing. Here's a fun one. I never had a new client or anybody reach out to me through Facebook and Instagram ads. I can actually give an exact number right here, but I'm gonna say probably close to like $75 just in advertisements on Facebook, Instagram, you name it. I got however many reaches that people saw it or whatever. Never had a client actually reach out to me. The only time I had somebody reach out to me through Facebook or Instagram or wherever is if I posted a photo shoot that I did with a buddy or something like that, and then one of their followers saw that and was like, oh, hey, who did this? Who did that? Which again goes back to, it's all about connections. Yeah, don't spend money on those ads. It's really not worth it. Word of mouth is so much better and way more reliable. Have your friends boost you. If they're truly your friends, they're gonna promote your work. If you do landscape photography, have your friends share it. That's the one thing I truly love about my family. As soon as I post something, my brother posts something, my cousin posts something, we're all there to share it. We share it, repost it, whatever, just to get the word out there, because we each have a different set of followings and you never know who's going to need what. You will get noticed and it will make a huge difference. Here are some shots that I did with my buddy and his dog, and some shots that I did of Lindsay. These are all when I got the new camera, which I'm actually going to be talking about right now. Make sure that you master your equipment before you use it. This is the Canon 80D. This is what I made a majority of my money off of. Right now I'm using the Canon EOS R, and I am working on videos comparing the two. But this has seen a lot of professional shoots. This EOS R has only seen my friends, my family, because I am still trying to make this thing legit, make it look great, you know, whatever. A lot of little things I'm trying to figure out. I don't even know if this video is going to look good. I'm still messing with it, playing with it. That's why I haven't really posted the comparison videos yet, because I don't even know if I'm using the thing right. So master your equipment. The last thing that you need to be worried about when you are out on a shoot is how to use your equipment. So master it, perfect it, and then use it. If you're buying a whole bunch of new equipment before you start your journey on starting your own company, perfect it and then start your own company. And then that way you just can rapid fire and get a whole bunch of things done. I'm sure you guys all heard the expression, save that money for a rainy day. If you're a business owner, I say save that money for a rainy month. There will be months where you make a lot of money, and there'll be months where you don't make anything. Okay, let's just say one month you made $10,000, the next month you didn't really make anything, but then that following month you have like 9 gigs lined up, so you know you're gonna start making money again. You might not make that money right away. I've done some work for clients where you don't get paid until, you know, a month and a half later, maybe 2 months, 3 months, whatever. And I kept wondering, like, why is that? And it's just kind of obnoxious. Sometimes it's in a contract. I never had that experience yet, but I heard some people say that. Yeah, I know somebody who, when they run an organization that constantly has things that they have to pay for and stuff like that. And they said if there is no due date on their invoice, it goes to the bottom of the pile. I started adding due dates on all my invoices. Sure enough, they all started coming in right on that time. Keep that tax money put away. Because if you spend it or touch it and then tax season rolls around and you need that money, it's gonna suck. If you are charging $3,000, depending on where you're at, in New York, it's about 35%. 35% of whatever money I just made, I throw into a different account. So when tax season rolls around, I'm not searching for that money. I have that money ready to pay for my taxes. Stay organized. Like, seriously, it is super important to stay organized. I'm talking about your electronic files. I'm talking about your finances, your expenses, your bills, where you pay for all your bills. The more that you have things scattered, which I currently do right now, and I'm going to be working on that, the harder it is going to be for you to stay organized. Try to stay organized. It's going to help you a lot. If you just start off being organized, it's just going to make it easier. Take that extra 45 seconds of taking a piece of equipment somewhere and like putting something back, like take that extra 45 seconds and make it neat again. It's going to save you so much time in the long run. And this was just a little fun one. If you're a photographer, you will forever be your family's photographer. At any party that my family has, I'm shooting it. Any little thing, Josh, oh, here, come take this picture, come take this picture, blah, 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 blah. Just be ready for it. I love it. I love taking pictures. The only thing that I recently have found out was, you know, when I have client work and then family photos to take care of, you know, my family kind of wants those pictures soon, but then I also want to just get the client work done so it's out of the way and I can get paid. So there's a little bit of a balance. I figured it out pretty quickly. I'm sure you guys can too. And yeah, so just be ready for that. So the last thing I'm going to hit you guys with, just make sure you make time for yourself. That is one of the biggest things that I learned. That's why I said I try to take at least one day off a week for myself. It's super, super important. When I was in college, I started gaining weight, you know, freshman 15, whatever they call it. I gained about like 20 pounds while I was in college. And then when I started working on my company full time and I'm editing for 12 to 16 hours at a time, yesterday, I think I took less than 1,000 steps. And I was editing from 5 in the morning till 5 at night. So I did a 12-hour thing, and then I just basically was laying in bed watching YouTube the rest of the night. So wake up, get some exercise. If you don't feel confident in yourself and that you just feel like your mind's all over the place, it's going to show, and it's going to show in your work. You're not going to be driven. You're not going to be motivated. Take the time and take care of yourself. This is not an occupation where you naturally get a workout. You know what I mean? So yeah, so go for hikes, go for walks, go with your buddies, friends, whatever. Take pictures of them up on the mountains. Anything to get you some exercise, do it. Highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I really hope you found it helpful. I am an open book. If you have any questions at all, please leave them down in the comments below. I will make sure to answer them. Maybe in a video, you might give me a great idea. I can't wait for one more year and just see where we're at. Yeah, it's gonna be incredible. But yeah, make sure that you follow me down below, that you guys leave a like if you did find this video helpful at all. Subscribe for more. I'm gonna try to be posting a lot more. It's super hard. I'm gonna try to. I promise you guys. I'm making it a priority to try to get these videos out. But stay safe, stay creative, and let's hope that 2021 is your year. This is gonna be your year. I'm declaring it now. You're gonna make this year yours. So yeah, have a good one, guys. Bye.